Okay, so today is our last day of our probability unit, and we are going to talk about permutations and combinations, which are basically just figuring out the number of ways you can organize a list or something like that in different ways. So a permutation, okay, is an arrangement of objects, letters, cards, whatever it happens to be, where order is important. And one of the most common ways that we see that is when you're ordering or arranging the letters in a word. So for instance, if I gave you the word cat, C-A-T, how many ways can you arrange the letters? Well, you have C-A-T, C-T-A, A-T-C, A-C-T, T-A-C, and T-C-A. There are 6 possibilities. Same thing with dog, right? D-O-G, so on. There are 6 possibilities that you can do that. However, this list is easy to do when there's only 3 letters that we're working with, but sometimes what if there's more letters and just writing out a list just gets to be too long? So there's an easier way to do that. Okay, so the easier way to do that is going to be in our Desmos calculator. So I've kind of screenshotted a couple of things here for you to use. So if I, for instance, if I wanted to know dog, we already listed that out. But if I had the word house, which has 5 letters in it, technically what we're doing is we're figuring out how many possibilities are there for the first letter. Well, there's 5 possibilities for the first letter. Multiplying it by, well, after we've used one of them, now there's only 4 possibilities for the second letter, 3 possibilities for the third letter, 2 possibilities, and then 1 possibility. When we are taking this 5 and multiplying it by every number less than it, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, that's called factorial. And on your calculator, it actually has a button for that. So if you look in your Desmos calculator, and I highly encourage you to pause the video, open your Desmos calculator, the one that's green and it looks like this with the cube root of 27 on it. That's the one you're going to want to use. If you look in that, if you find down in the lower left-hand corner, there's these 3 options: main, ABC, and function. You need to go into the function. And then down here in the lower right-hand corner, you see an exclamation point. That exclamation point indicates factorial. So if I wanted to know how many possible ways we could write the word house, I would have 5 total letters in my name, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would just use factorial, that exclamation. And when I put that into the calculator, there, I believe, are 120 different ways that you could actually write the word house if you organize the letters kind of like we did with dog and cat. Flowers has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters, 7. Factorial is going to be, if you put that into your calculator, will be 5,040 possibilities. Okay, well, so now let's look at something a little bit different here. Okay, so we want to figure out how many permutations. The permutations is basically different ways that we can organize things. The word earth, E-A-R-T-H, that's 5 letters. Well, if we wanted to use all 5 of the letters, we would just say 5 factorial, which is 120. Okay, however, what if you only wanted to arrange 2 of the letters? Okay, when you only want to arrange 2 of the letters, then you're going to use what is called a permutation. Okay, and in your Desmos calculator, there's an easy way to do that. So again, if you look at your main screen and you go to the functions, and then it brings up this screen, and right here across the bottom, that factorial button is there, but there's also this NPR and NCR. Those are 2 functions that we're going to use on our calculator today. The NPR stands for permutation. Okay, so if I wanted to know if I have 5 letters and I only want to arrange 2 of them, only 2 of them matter, I'd hit that NPR button right here, and I'm going to say, and it'll come up on your Desmos calculator like this, NPR, and there'll be a parentheses. So what you're going to put in there is the first number is going to be how many total letters there are, or how many possibilities there are that are given to you. Well, Earth has 5 letters, and then I'm picking 2 of them. So this 5 represents my total number, right, which is there's 5 letters in Earth. This 2 represents how many I'm choosing of those 5 to be in a specific order. So when I put that into my calculator, I have a permutation of 5 and I'm choosing 2 of them. There are 20 possibilities. Okay, so let's look at another example of this. Another example would be different ways that you could place in something, either a race or a competition of some sort. There's no ties, anything like that. So we have 10 horses. How many different ways can the horses finish first, second, or third? Okay, so we have a total of 10. That order that we need to know is important because first has to come before second, has to come before third. So we are going to use a permutation. Okay, so again, we're going to go back into that functions. Make sure you're using the NPR. That P stands for permutation. So when you click that on your calculator, you're going to have NPR and those parentheses. Again, the parentheses, we have 10. We are choosing 3. We're choosing first place, second place, third place. And when we put that in there, it tells us there are 720 possible ways that that could happen with people placing first, second, and third. Okay, so the other one, we did permutations. Okay, so the other one is a combination. A combination is an arrangement of objects in which order is not important. Okay, so an example of what you might see with this, how many possible combinations are there of the word cat? If the order is not important, you just have to use 2 letters. Okay, so picking 2 letters, I could have CA, CT, AC, AT, TA, or TC. That's if I'm just picking 2. If you notice, I have them color coordinated here. AC and CA are the same thing. Order is not important, so in our mind right now, CA and AC are the same thing. CT and TC are the same thing. And AT and TA are the same thing. So really there's only going to be one, that's one possibility. There's 2 possibilities, the T or the A or the AT, or 3, the CT, TC. So there's only going to be 3 possibilities. Okay. Slightly longer word, brat or brat, depending on if you're eating dinner or if you're talking about a naughty kid. What if you only want to use 2 letters of the word brat? Okay. I'd have, just think, I organized it by the first letter B. You'd have BR, BA, BT, RB, and then first, if the first letter was R, RA, RT, RB, RA, RT, and if the first letter was A. So I have them all organized here, and there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. However, if you look at what I have color coordinated, right, AT and TA are the same thing, RT and TR are the same thing, RA and AR are the same thing. So if you look at how many different, in this case, colors I have on here, there are actually only 6 possibilities because we count like that RT and the TR, we only count that once. We don't count them twice. So let's be real here. I don't want to, hang on a second. So let's be honest, I don't want to have to make that organized list every single time that I go and have to figure out a combination. So again, there are combinations that you can use on your calculator. So if we want to count the possible combinations, that's a keyword that we want to look for when we know whether we are using combinations or permutations of 3 letters from A, B, C, D, E. I don't want to make that whole list of however many there are and figure out how many overlap. So we can use our calculator. And if you notice, again, we're going to be in the functions. We are not using permutation this time. We are not using factorial. We are going to use that NCR. Okay, so that C is what we're looking for. So we're going to use the NCR. And again, we're using, well, how many total letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're using 5 letters, and we're choosing 3 of those letters. Okay, so we're going to put that into our calculator, and it will tell us that if we have 5 letters and we have to choose 3 of them, there are actually 10 combinations for that. And if we go the other way and we're ordering a sandwich at a restaurant, there are 8 possibilities. We are choosing 2. How many possible combinations are there? Again, we're going to go to that functions, combinations, NCR. So we're going to have 8, choose 2, and there would be 28 possibilities. Have a good day.